we're talking about this, why I wanted to bring this up, because you brought a very interesting topic to me the other day about men's groups that are dedicating themselves to like harming women, right? And before I get all the way to that piece, if you think about these two stories, what it's saying is guys get hurt by their wives, get militarized by ISIS in Ukraine, and go and commit terrorist acts. That's what they want the story to be for these gentlemen. So maybe it's a thing against women, if you really think about it. Like maybe they're coming for the women, saying the women are the reason that these guys are losing their minds. And you know what I'm saying? So then the women become the problem.
Be sensitive. We want you to talk about your feelings.
Yeah. So let me bring this other piece up here, because you sent me a clip, and I did check into this thing. So for those that don't know, recently there was a Telegram group for, I guess, I don't know, sick niggas. Like, I don't know what to describe them, man. It's a bunch of sick niggas that get together and they basically talk about harming women. So where did I put my clip at? Here we go.
This is crazy.
Let me bring this up here. Hopefully I can get it correct on the screen. We're going to find out. All right. Let's see if it's ready, because this one's on TikTok, so it's a little different on the...
Sure. That number is not hyperbole.
All right, hold on a second.
70,000 men got into a group chat and have sustained it for years, where the whole purpose of it
was
to give tips and tricks on how to harm women in your life. Your girlfriend,
here goes the guy.
Your aunt, your sister, your mom, your daughter. And we wonder why it is that women will have these conversations in social media about the man or the bear. Well, bear's not doing that. Grizzlies aren't getting together and talking through the trees about how to fuck up women. Like, that's not happening.
Now, I'm just going to pause this for a second here. This is going to sound a little harsh. I assume that the guys that go into these groups are probably not the strongest guys, right? Because that's why they would go into a group to talk about shit like this. I feel like this guy may not be in the group, but he knows about the group, and I didn't know about the group. So why you know about the group? But I'm just saying.
And you know what really frustrates
he went
me
all the
about
way into it. I had to do
news and all of
research to find
beyond
this
the fact
shit.
of I can't even imagine how many women have just like had their lives made worse, if not totally harmed or ended by this chat. But it makes me angry because you know that 70,000 is a big enough number. That's enough people to fill all SoFi Stadium, by the way. That's a big enough number that almost certainly a non-insignificant portion of the people in that chat were young men between the ages of 10 and 20. And I just wonder who in their life is asking them, who are you spending your time with? Where are you hearing that? Who told you to talk like that? You know, because like if it starts in a group chat, it's going to percolate into regular conversation. And if you're a young guy like me, I'm 26. You know, I have a 15-year-old nephew. And if
26 look different on them.
Any inkling about that young man talking in any way about harming the women in his life, I mean, he'd be getting a call from me, right? Like it's not even a negotiation. You know, it would be a call to understand what are you doing, first of all, and then it would be cajoling the shit out of him to stop that, because there's a point where when the conversation is about harm, it's less about the gentle parenting, right? It's about letting people know, like, that's not okay. You know, like, you are not a man to do that. You know, no man is a man to do that. Things like that. And it just makes me wonder how many of these young men who were certainly in this chat were able to show the chat directly to their friends, or maybe even to older men in their life, and only receive like, oh man, that's so edgy, that's so crazy, instead of being like, hey, you want to fucking show me that again? You want to tell me why you're in that chat? You know?
He was soft though, dude, but he makes a good point.
It drives me crazy because
it's like, why are you doing that?
Love to talk about social decay
and
about corrosion of morals. This is it. Stuff like this is it.
Man,
this is the acid bath on everybody's psyche and sense of safety.
Fucking soft ass. Anyway, you know, I think I just realized why my audio is having issues. There is a gate on my audio here. Hold on a second. I don't want to mess it up. Hold on. I'm gonna just let it be what it is, because it might all of a sudden start blasting out. I don't know. So,
bro, I don't want to blame this guy. I know you said, well, how do you know about it?
Nah,
I don't want to blame him because you don't want to shoot the messenger. But now that you mention it, I'm like, yeah, how do you know?
It's Luigi. It's just Luigi. That's what Jerry Bell put in there. But this is my thing is, I had not heard about this other than the TikTok video that this guy sent out. And so I did my research. Turns out it started as a German group and it spread a little bit. So it's people in different countries that make up the 70,000, but there are definitely American men involved in this. And I just, you know, of all the things to talk about, I don't really think exchanging ideas on how to strangle somebody that you're married to is like a great conversation piece.
Bruh.
I don't know, man. And so I'm feeling like there may be some underlying attack on women going on that maybe I don't know about because I'm not a woman, so I don't feel it. I just see that there's a lot of, like, everybody gets violent, and then they start digging into it, and it just comes back to they were pissed off at their girlfriend or something like that. And it's like, that's so minimal. Like, I don't know, man. That's it. All of this shit stinks to me. Who starts the group? How do you get to 70,000 before somebody shuts you down in a group like that?
Who the fuck know? Like, that's why I say, man, the Illuminati just ain't good anymore.
They just not slick with it no more. It's like right out in the open, and then when we start talking about it, we get in trouble or we're labeled as like anti-something because we're talking about it. So in this case, I would be anti-free speech because I don't want this
Think
group.
about it. I want you to think about like this. Think about like an 80-year-old grandfather who's passing down, who has passed down the Illuminati to, well, now the son would be about 60, so they're passing it down to the grandchild. This is the brat that was throwing his toys and acting an ass in public, and now he's the head of the Illuminati. Just a little spoiled asshole. Like, they're not crossing the T's and dotting the I's. They're not, just blame it on women.
Yeah, blame it on women and guys being mad about that. And because of their anger, they get militarized by terrorist groups and commit heinous acts.
You know what I think it is? I think the reason why they were probably better back in the day with doing stuff like this was because a lot of these people came from nothing. Like when, in the Industrial Revolution, they were poor first, but then overnight they were able to make a lot of money.
Right.
And so around the 30s, 40s, and 50s, they were still connected to the people, what it was like to be not having a lot. And then even rich people back in like the day, they still had to travel on horse and buggy. So like everybody was kind of around the same thing. But now the divide is so big that rich people just don't really understand what poor people are going through.
Right.
You can tell by the amount of money people get for food on welfare. You know what I'm saying? Like when I think about the amount of money that I spend for groceries in a middle class environment, and I look at what people are actually giving on welfare, I'm like, damn, man, y'all spending way more than we getting. Like, than we, they don't understand the poor people. So things that are happening, you know what? Let's just blame it on women. Throw an ISIS flag and a couple of bombs in the back of the car, burn up all the guns,
gas in the back, and and a couple of fireworks. Saying, "Hey, he was trying to blow up a whole."
Yeah, like this seems like a rich person's idea. Well, that's how I would do it, because you've never been through nothing.
Never been through nothing.
That's exactly what a 37-year-old Army Green Beret would do, is get in a cyber truck with an arsenal and burn up everything but the ID.
And we're just supposed to take that at face value. So
that's bullshit that needs to be purged.
Yes, and that's why it's here on Purge the BS. That's why I had to bring it to you, because I'm looking at it and I say to myself, something